How's it going, everybody? Today I shall show you probably the best window manager / compositor which you could get with the best configuration by default out of the box. So what you guys are seeing right now in front of you is basically Arch Linux. It has some customizations done. I mean, just ignore this part which says Bedrock Linux. It's Arch Linux, okay? The configuration of the window manager which I'm using right now is completely the default configuration. The gaps, the rounded corners, the animations. I mean, there are some exceptions, of course, like the bar you have on the top is of course slightly customized, but I will also show a easier way through which you could get this bar in seconds. With that said, let me explain what this is. This thing right here, everybody, is Hyprland, a window manager / compositor based completely on Wayland, which comes with animations, composition, blur effects, everything by default. And it's also very easy to configure. It's kind of like i3 but on steroids. And it's of course also based on Wayland and not Xorg. Here's the difference between i3 and Hyprland. Basically everything. You have to install a whole set of new apps. You cannot install Nitrogen or you cannot install PCOM. For setting wallpapers, for example, you have to use Sway BG, kind of like Fay, but it's meant for Wayland. And for setting up the top bar, which used to be Polybar in Xorg stuff, in our case it is Waybar. The configuration file of Hyprland is basically like i3. It's not a programming language as a whole. Let's just dive into how you could have all of this. So I have Firefox open right here. Okay, I just closed it for fuck's sake. And by the way, the thing which I'm opening right here, this is not Rofi. Rofi is for noobs. Okay, this is Fuzzle. Fuzzle is basically the Wayland alternative for Rofi. As I said, Wayland is like a whole different ecosystem. You cannot have Xorg apps inside Wayland. I mean, it does not work properly in Wayland. That's what I mean. And then go ahead and then say my channel name and GitLab. As simple as that. Just search for that and you get my shitty project. Don't click on that. So once you do that, you get this amazing list of projects which I have. In there, go ahead and then click onto config files, and here you get all of this. I don't know why I committed it as hey, it's committed. Okay, I have separate folder where you could install all of these stuff. So all you have to do is just go ahead and then clone it. So say clone, just copy the GitLab repository, go ahead and then open a terminal and then go to whatever directory you want and then just say git clone the name of my config file repository. It's not a heavy one, it's just small repos, and then you get this collection of folders which is finely crafted for you guys, and it's way more valuable than Kohinoor diamonds in Britain. So yeah, you probably don't want to miss this out. With that said, also go ahead and then subscribe. As you guys know, I am a subscriber for my own channel. I don't know why I just run subscriber in my terminal, but you have to go ahead and then subscribe. If you don't subscribe, you're gonna not get the 100 years of good luck which everybody else got who have actually subscribed to my channel. So subscribe now. But no, really, if you go ahead and then join my membership, everyday videos, everyday released. Moving on, we have this section of Hyprland wiki right here. You get this, and if you are on Arch Linux, which I assume most people are, just go ahead and then download the Hyprland package. We'll move on. You have installed Hyprland. The next thing you want to install is a launcher. Okay, so to install a launcher, it's as simple as going to the terminal and then using your favorite AUR package manager and then installing whatever you want. There is something called B menu for Wayland users. There's something called Wofi for Wayland users. In my case, I just went ahead and then used Fuzzle, which also exists in the AUR, and it looks good. That's the reason. Okay, of course by default it's not going to look good. If you want to make it look good, it's as simple as going to my config files, copying this folder and then pasting it into your .config folder. And if you want to know where the config folder is, I'm sure most of you know, but if you don't know where it is, it's right here in your home folder. It's called .config. Just copy paste the fuzzle folder from my GitLab repository and then paste it into this folder right here. With that said, once you have done that, you have this amazing thing. Go to the place where you have copied my GitLab repository, and then copy this file, this folder right here into your .config file, okay, and overwrite the default hyper file, okay, and it's gonna look like this. Okay, so this is my config file. This command, which basically restores the waybar, which is the polybar alternative right here, and the wallpaper, which is this. Other than that, I have also changed the blur effect, which used to look really terrible. It used to look like Windows 7, and if you want to make it look good like how it is, copy paste my config files and it's gonna look good. So with that said, you could also go ahead and then do some more stuff like workspace swiping, which you could do it right now by just saying on. By default in my config files it is off, just in case. It would probably give errors in different hardwares, but in my case I could just say on, and this is amazing. Tell me if you could do that on any window manager in XOR. Okay, moving on into the step-by-step process. You have installed Hyprland, SwayBG. The next thing you want to go ahead and then do terminal. Obviously, I would recommend you guys to use Kitty, because Hyprland also recommends you to use Kitty by default. And if you go to my GitLab configuration, I also have a Kitty file right there, so you could use that to get this transparency and blur effects. The next thing you want to install is Waybar. For installing Waybar, you have to go ahead and then say your favorite package manager for AUR, Waybar Hyprland. Install Waybar Hyprland and that will work. It's not over yet. You also have to go ahead and then install TTF Awesome. And to install TTF Awesome, you just say whatever you want and install TTF font awesome and hit enter. It's gonna install this font right here, the icons right here, okay. And once that is also done, you can just go ahead and then copy paste my Waybar configuration folder into .config. Yeah, that's really it. With that said, once you have done the installation of Waybar and it looks as cool as this, obviously this is just the most basic setup. You also have to install stuff like Tunar, Firefox, your favorite text editor, Ranger if you want. In my case, I also installed Lightworks and also went ahead and then changed the complete Linux distribution into something else. Highly recommend you to join the membership. I'm planning to buy some stuff like mics and some lighting and stuff like that. Hope you guys got something from this video. Hope you enjoyed this video. Smash like, subscribe again, and I'll meet you in the next one.